What's wrong? Shut up, Mickey. No one's interested in your conversations. Welcome to the Buzz Bros episode 2.
Hey man, y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe.
Or I will find you. And I will kill you. We're here with my very good friend, Ethan. Ethan, welcome to the Welcome to the Buzz Bros episode.
Thank you for having me.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of the Buzz Bros. I'm here with EJ, our new guest, first time ever, Ethan.
So Ethan, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Yeah, so I'm a videographer. I just graduated from Nebraska,
Nice,
University of Nebraska. I know you guys probably don't know where that is.
At Omaha, I do.
Omaha, that's good actually. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, because he traveled the whole world.
No, I had some interest from them in basketball.
Really?
But nothing serious.
Okay.
It actually is kind of a hub for basketball, funny enough. You wouldn't expect that, but like Nebraska and Minnesota, big hubs for that. But I'm originally from Texas. I grew up here and in Minnesota actually too. But just graduated, coming back down to Texas to freelance, do photography, videography, mainly in sports. I do like to do music work as well. Pretty much any kind of creative work that I can.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get into because
How long you been doing that for?
I've been doing that since high school. So I had a class I took with a teacher who, she kind of like instilled, kind of interest for it. Because in high school I really wasn't like, I didn't have any interest. I wasn't really good at school.
Yeah.
On its
You
own.
didn't really know about what Ethan represented, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. So I took a class because I would make like videos on like Vine, or I would work on.
I remember them days.
Dude, yeah. I was like
I was like a 10, 9-year-old kid just like...
Yeah, literally.
I used to go on Vine and I used to...
Yeah, but I started out, I was making lacrosse edits.
Oh.
Yeah, just for fun.
Okay.
I actually like ran up like an iTunes like purchases on my parents' stuff,
Really?
like spending money on like buying songs to edit them with, so they were super upset with me about that. But I was like, guys, exactly, like EDM stuff, and but then I started making edits for like, music videos that I liked, and I would put them to different songs.
Okay.
And I don't know, I just kind of liked it because it was like a creative outlet for me.
Yeah.
And it was really one of the only things I like really enjoyed doing.
Yeah, because me, I do photography, a little bit of videography on the side. For me, it was like a little bit different. Like, of course, I always thought it was something aside. I had football at the time. I was an athlete. A little bit more into sports than photography. But I always was like kind of like a pretty boy. Before I cut my hair, I had my nice little curls, the eyes and whatnot, bro. And I was like, okay.
I could take you very seriously with your gloves on.
Shut up. Like you got a whole Batman costume on.
He's trying to say
Shut up!
Alright, bro, but yeah, back to what I was saying, like, bro, like, for me, it was like I had another source, but I wanted something, like, besides football being my whole life, I wanted something else, that I can, like, okay, what else can I do for my free time? And, like, what can also I benefit from it? So, like, being a pretty boy and having a camera is, like, free pictures, and I get to, make money from it. So, it was, like, definitely, having that source.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, I get it. It was, like, during that time, I was, like, in high school. I really didn't have any plans to go to college or anything.
It just naturally happened?
Yeah, so I didn't really see it as, like, an option. I was like, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I didn't feel like that was the route. Like, traditionally, I didn't really want to go into business or anything. Nothing spoke to me. I was kind of, like, disinterested with a lot of things.
Yeah.
So having that teacher that was kind of a big, proponent of, like, hey, I think you could be good at this. And for the first time, I felt like I had a skill in something that I actually enjoyed.
So like, did your teacher kind of introduce you to it?
Yeah, she kind of like, it was a video production class, basically.
I got you.
And so we learned like the basics of, how to shoot different things or how to tell different stories and like the writing that goes behind that kind of stuff. And so she kind of saw that I was like really trying hard at these projects, which a lot of kids didn't. They were just kind of like screwing around.
Be amazing at it. And bro, the product speaks for itself, guys.
We're gonna show some of the videos.
We're gonna tag his Instagram,
and we're gonna show some videos on this channel right now.
The work you put in together manifests itself on that field. Everyone has your back. Now, as we walk out this tunnel, man, it's a way for us to honor the people in our lives who have fought for us, picking you up, taking you to school, fighting for you, taking a second job, battling, maybe keeping you away from the hard things in your life. She took it on so that you could just be a kid. Who is that for you? Who is that for you? Maybe it was your dad, maybe it was a coach. But man, they fought for you. They were warriors for you. She taught me how to fight. Who taught you how to fight? Who taught you how to be a warrior? A warrior doesn't need a weapon. A warrior is the weapon. You guys are warriors. You've been taught to fight. So as you take that field, fight for yourself. Fight for what you want. Fight for each other. But just remember who went to war for you in your life. And whatever your job is today, standing there and cheering or catching a touchdown, man, do it without fear.
Because I'm not gonna lie, bro, that I see the Nebraska video, it went crazy.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Also, if you guys are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, guys, he is the go-to person for videography. He would help you guys out, and for photography as well. EJ Visions, man.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. I mean, I basically that was kind of like the leading into, you know, the career for me, is like she saw that I actually wanted to put a lot of effort into projects that, you know, I was like putting my all. I wanted to make it the best that it could be.
You're genuinely passionate.
Right. And then she saw that, and then she was like, hey, there's a next level class, and I'm going to make you the director of that class. And so that was the first time I was like, I have some actual responsibility.
Sense of responsibility.
Leadership. And then that was that was kind of for the first time where I got into leadership, which is a big part of, you know, I feel like my life now and where I want to take it. So, yeah, and then I, you know, kind of long story short, wanted to pursue that as a career, ended up finding a school that had a really good video production, you know, program for their athletics, and then just chose that school, and then it was kind of wraps from there. Just did all the work I did and graduated. And
from you having that director position, did it like give you a scholarship in any form, or it was more like
no for high school? I mean, I did some video production scholarship challenges. Actually, won 2 of them. Okay. So I got like. I ended up getting around like 10 grand to put towards my school, literally just from like video contests that I did. One was crazy. Like, it was Take Care of Texas, which was like an environmental program where I made a video, basically like, you know, quick video. I won like 2,500. Then I did one for a Toyota, and then it ended up being like 10 grand.
I ended up doing one for Toyota too, but it was more of pictures.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So my question to you, you know, because like, you know what our platform is about? It's about growth and elevation.
Absolutely.
So like, what do you think the best advice you give to our viewers, you know, and like how to start off something like that? For me, it's like I started, you know, I did sports photography instead of videography, of course, and I just used to do free pictures, or if not free pictures, I'll start off like really low, like low prices. So like, what's your intake on that? Yeah,
well, it's funny you say that, because the summer in between, because I took that class my junior year of high school, and then senior year I was in that as the director. It was like a broadcast class. We had a whole like news channel. So, but that summer in between those 2 years, I actually did a full-time unpaid internship with a video production company out in Plano, Icon Video Productions. Shout out them. Gave me an opportunity, and you know, it was, for me as a high school kid, I had zero experience. So I mean, I would, you know, typically I say for people who are trying to, you know, grow their skills in some kind of like medium, whether that be, you know, it could be clothing design or, you know, video production, is to just literally like, you got to put yourself in environments to get challenged. Like, I was absolutely terrified going into that experience. I mean, all the other applicants for that job were college graduates. Literally, I was a high school student, so I really had zero, like, leverage. But they gave me a chance, and then I ended up working alongside those college graduates who were, like, tremendously impressed by me that I was a high school student working an internship with them.
Many things from that as well.
Oh yeah, and I'm, you know, I was kind of like the workhorse. Like, they gave me the projects that no one else wanted to edit them, but I did them. Because I had that hunger. And that goes back to something deeper, where I felt like it was part of a greater vision that I had for this career for myself, and that I was like, man, this is really a hobby that I could turn into something that could, like, be my livelihood.
Beneficial.
And then I was like, but it's competitive. It's difficult, and you have to be ahead. And so having that vision, if you can establish that kind of vision ahead of time to see kind of foresight, like what's ahead and how you'll need to grow to get to where you want to go, man, it will pay dividends, because having that experience going into college, I was a step ahead of everyone who got to college. I got opportunities that I wouldn't have gotten if I hadn't done that before. Yeah. And then it just kept stacking and stacking, and now I'm just kind of ahead, not to compare of anyone else, but just like where I would have been if I hadn't, kind of taken that
Took
leap.
advantage of those opportunities.
Yeah, and like done something really difficult. I was working at Jersey Mike's on the weekends to try and make that work, and luckily I was with my parents at the time, living with them, so I kind of recognized that I was a good opportunity or time to do something that difficult, and it ended up paying off.
All right, so really quick, food for thought. So you spoke about how you got a director class and you were the leader of that class, developing leadership abilities.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, has it ever came to your mind that you could be a potential movie director?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting time right now when it comes to movie directing, because a lot of people have the access to bigger audiences with social media, which I'm sure you guys are obviously leveraging yourselves with marketing. But there's kids that are like younger than me. I heard about, I was competing against some of these people when I was doing these scholarship programs. Is they were like just making short films, 10-minute, 20-minute, little movies, and putting them on YouTube. And they would blow up because people recognized, and actually, it was a different way to get that kind of product.
Yeah, I've seen something like that
in front of people. So, yeah, I mean, I think I've always been a lover of movies, and it's just it's such a, it's a commitment, because I've been around some people who are heavily in film production, and it's not for the weak, man. It's early mornings, late nights, not always the greatest pay, especially not at the beginning if you're trying to be a director, because you got to fund your own stuff
for yourself. Especially that.
Yeah, so it's something where you got to be, really committed to it. But there's a couple different routes you can take to get there. So I wondered if, maybe if I can start producing more stuff for, my own short films. I don't know if you guys saw some of the stuff I've made. Just kind of
I saw some things, man. Those things are beautiful.
With my VHS camera, just kind of
exactly, that grayish VHS aesthetic. Yeah. I really messed with that.
Yeah, so, I don't know. There's a couple routes, but I've definitely I've thought about it.
Are you open to that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I've had an urge, I feel like, to make things like that, like even just that video I posted recently, I got a message, a voicemail from my mom, and that it spoke to me on such a level where I needed to make something visually to represent it, because it just had some of those deeper life themes that I feel like movies are a vessel for. That's what people are a lot of times are trying to do with movies, is create a dialogue about a bigger theme of life that they're trying to get across. So yeah, absolutely.
I mean, honestly, right when you said that, I felt that way a lot with Dune. Have you watched Dune?
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one.
You should watch the second one. The second one, me personally, the second one was really good. It wasn't as good as the first one. It was really good, though. Right. But yeah, I was speaking mainly about the first Dune, the cinematography in it, and like you said, the feeling and the message that it's trying to convey.
Oh, it's fascinating.
Just through the cinematography, the acting, etc. Just for me, in my own opinion, I got Dune over Star Wars, and it's inspired from Star Wars is inspired from Dune as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if you guys know, but Star Wars was fighting a case for a really long time that they copied Dune and lots of its ideas.
Dune came out first.
Dune came out first in the
written books, I believe.
Yeah. Not movie wise, but books.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty similar, but it's a fascinating thing, though.
So that just brought me to a juicy question.
A juicy question?
Genuinely asking. So, right, we've all seen, maybe not the whole series, but maybe one or two Star Wars movies, those sci-fi type of things. Now, you said that movies are kind of like a vessel for conveying a message, right? So do you think that there's any sort of relativity to the real physical world of the reality of Star Wars, the reality of Dune? What I mean is do you think that's something that just came out of somebody's their fragment of their imagination? Or do you think that that's something that could be obviously now we're heading into the deeper conspiracy type of thing.
What are you trying to say? Is there aliens and people outside?
Jay, do you think a Star Wars type of thing is out there, or some sort of galactic force? Me personally, I say, aliens are definitely real, and I only think if we have polices as humans, polices, government, judicial branches, dictators, governments, I can only imagine what there would be out there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, on a crazy level.
Yeah, bro. I definitely think there's something out there. It's just what do they allow us to see? I seen some post on Instagram the other day. It's the government confirmed that aliens are real.
Yeah, there's official CIA documents. And it's they release a little bit at a time to make it look like it's normal.
That's exactly what I was about to say. So when I was like reading the post, and it was saying like they put out all these movies and posts and whatnot to like get us used to
karmic retribution.
Exactly.
They show you something before it happens, so then nothing negative happens.
So much, and then like, so I'm guessing they probably like it came to the point where they can't hold it back anymore because you know how the world is all going through this, that.
Exactly, and after the pandemic and everything going on, people are just like, all right, yeah, cool, it's probably fake anyways. So it's like, you know, they just don't believe in it because it's hard to believe the government. So they took it to their advantage.
Yeah.
They released CIA documents, and you know, obviously back then it was harder to have disbelief in the government because you know there wasn't really much of an internet, or it was very brand new. You know, it would take 30 minutes to start up a computer and to make noises all night. You know what I mean? So, you know, with the access that we have now with social media, everything that's going on in the world, it's like they're using that disbelief that the people have against them to an advantage, saying, "Oh, you guys don't believe us in anything we say? All right, aliens are real." You know what I mean? Like, I personally do think it's the truth. Yeah. But I think, like I said, they use that tactic to just throw a bunch of people off and make them argue against each other. Yeah. Which is the overall bigger picture of, you know.
That was really interesting. When they announced, they admitted that there was an entire like task force within the Pentagon dedicated to like debunking like video footage that the actual military had captured. That was to me one of the most interesting things. And the leader of that task group, I think it's been since disbanded for whatever reason. Of course, but
wonder why.
Yeah, but they called it I think they called them UAPs is what they described, like instead of UFOs, because people. It was interesting. They talked about how even like internally there was like doubt about the discoveries of their own, basically like the discoveries that they would make within the Pentagon were even doubted by the people. They were like
inside the Pentagon
because it's themselves. Like everyone, it's you know
there's so many classified things.
Well, the stigma about like like UFOs, big four-headed like
grayish skin, black eyes.
Yeah, so then that was even kind of like
there's multiple types of aliens.
I'm like, when there's doubt within the the own group of like their own task force dedicated to like discovering them, I'm like, there's probably an issue with the validity of information or the trust that people have with it if you can't even trust your own government tasked group to like discover them and debunk them. So no, that's a good question.
Yeah, it's definitely a food for thought because just like always having that thought of like, I don't know about you guys, but always since a kid I've always had the curiosity because in Florida in the nighttime it's very beautiful, so as a kid I'd always look up into the night sky. I would either go to the beach or something. I was just looking, and I'm like, bro, all these beautiful stars, all these millions of planets that I can't see with my own eyes, but I can just know they're out there. It's like there has to be something out there.
Absolutely.
We can't just be by ourselves.
100%. Like I definitely know there's something. Like, bro,
and I'm sure
they say we're just one universe out of what billions, millions. It's like there's no such thing.
And now there's CIA documents about the multiverse being real.
Like, bro,
and there's have you heard about that?
No, I haven't.
There's official documentation. At least I don't know about maybe don't quote me wrong, take this with a grain of salt about the CIA specifically, but I know there's some sort of government documentation or people that have worked with very serious positions in the government that have come out and said, "Hey, guys, the multiverse is real."
Oh wow!
Like there are many million versions.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. This topic too spicy. You might get like sniped.
It's terrifying. Yeah. There's that window. There's a sniper looking at us right now.
Man. Hold on. Why would it smell like rubber? It's exactly
Why you felt like I was someone who's a fit, based on the couple of conversations that we had prior to this, why do you feel like I was a fit to be on this podcast?
So honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna be real. We don't. It's gonna sound funny, but we don't have friends. We're new. That's the clip, bro. All right, look. Seriously, we don't have friends. Like me and him, I've been here for roughly around 6 months now. Yeah. He's been here for maybe a month and a half, about to be 2 months, something like that. And all we've had was each other. And obviously I've developed friends through the working environment, stuff like that. But I haven't had that where it's like proper connection where I genuinely see somebody and I see they're passionate about a few. Like, I don't know why, but something about me, something just gravitated me towards you with like your passionate energy. When I first met you, we literally just clicked. Like we started talking and we had like a 30-40 minute conversation, the first ever interaction we had in the gym. Exactly.
Which, if you know, it's like that's a sanctuary place to have a conversation that long.
Exactly. Because everybody's in a rush to go somewhere. Everybody's, trying to do something, having a workout, a place, to go to, stuff to do at home. So it's like just the way that happened naturally. I just felt like, hey, me and EJ are, creating this podcast. And I felt the urge to I just felt like, hey, I need to ask this guy onto the podcast because, you sounded like, emotionally intelligent. You're very aware. And just like I said, I could sense the passion through you. Obviously not to bring spirituality this early into the podcast, but I just sense the energy. That's what we're here for. I sense the energy. I could tell the energy. You know what I mean? And I told him about you, and then he had good impressions of you off the first time you guys met too.
I told him like he said, but we don't really know anybody. I just came in less than 2 months ago, and for me, it's like I want to surround myself by people that wants to be better. Like we said with the podcast is for elevation and growth. Like
I was literally gonna say that.
Yeah, bro. Surrounding yourself about people that want to be better. We got similar,
buddy.
Similar.
His speech impediments coming in, guys. If you can tell from the last video,
similarities.
You guys have certain similarities.
So that as well, and then bro, you could tell when someone got good energy, a good soul and whatnot. And then bro, Absolutely. He said you good, but I'm gonna take his word for it.
Yeah, I trusted it. Yeah.
I work at the gym as of right now. Not for long. I'm joking. I'm not joking. If my boss ever sees this, I'm just kidding.
Forget all that.
I'm just kidding.
Not for long.
Hey, I worked at a Crunch.
What's up, brother?
I worked at a Crunch for like 6 months, so.
Exactly, but not. I love you. You guys, don't fire me, please.
Yeah. Hey, make sure you do your kickoff. Whoa.
Don't let the girl see this.
Hold on.
What's the girl that always, every time I walk in, she be like, Facebook share?
Did a Facebook share?
There, you're wrong.
Havana.
I'm not. Oh, I was gonna say I'm not gonna say her name, and then he's just
no. She signed me up, and she thought my name was Elon. So you know what? Yeah.
What? Really?
She said after she got that, and I got really. I was a little disappointed because I was a salesperson at a Crunch, and the number one important thing that you got to do as a salesperson is remember their name when you're signing them up. That's huge. You got to know their name, and you got to say their name back to them throughout the entire process.
Havana, I don't have any control over this. I apologize.
This is my critique as a Crunch salesperson. I walked in, I said, hey, I used to work at a Crunch. I was a salesperson there. I don't want to do my kickoff. I just want to get signed up. I know how it goes. Could you do me a favor? And she goes, oh, yeah, for sure. And then proceeded to try and sell me on the full kickoff. I was like, hey, I don't want to do it. She got JD over there trying to I was like, JD, appreciate you, man. Not trying to do the kickoff. I'm like, I feel that, though. But the biggest strike was like, my name's not Elon. Now it makes sense though because I realized that you would
say my name even though I work there. Right. It's like, yeah, I'm selling it to my coworker.
Thinking of like another E name maybe, but she's cool. I like Havana. She's cool.
Ethan and Elon do sound.
No, they do.
They're pronounced the same way.
As soon as I realized you worked there, I was like, that made complete sense.
If they didn't know, bro, everybody's on a podcast today. It starts with an E. EJ, Ethan, Elon.
Yeah.
Okay, back to the conversation.
I do want to mention something though.
Yeah, what's up?
That this is probably the main reason I came here today is because of the conversations that we had. That it's hard to find people that are on that same kind of wavelength when it comes to, especially men.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a lot harder for men to be on that kind of wavelength and certain.
We're getting juicy, guys. I need to scoop my chair up. Hold on.
No, this is good stuff though. I like this stuff, and I'm really honestly very passionate about it because it's a big driving force in my life and what I try to impact. You're like, hold on, let me lock in. Let me take the Mickey Mouse gloves off.
Time to take off the cape.
No, but Batman would probably agree with this. So, but yeah, we had conversations. I don't even remember how we met, but it was
I genuinely don't. It's just like
we just kind of started talking. I think. We were on the cables and I started talking to you because I was like, hey, like we were just talking about Crunch stuff. And then I think we were just talking about like, men's mental health or like improvement growth, that kind of stuff.
Self-improvement, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, like, it's hard to find people that are on that kind of stuff. And
a lot of men, like he was talking about this. I was talking about it with EJ a week or two ago. A lot of men have pride.
Yes.
A lot of pride. And pride's not necessarily a bad thing to a certain aspect. I mean, to a certain extent. But like with things like, your mental health, your spiritual aspect, whether you're religious or spiritual, stuff like that. A lot of men have pride in certain things like that to where they don't want to it's like they want to have this tougher persona, because as soon as they start being emotionally intelligent, emotionally aware, they get that sense of like they are vulnerable.
I genuinely
mean?
agree. Like, that's why I feel like men, like, you know, when they're in a relationship with a female, they kind of go like Cocoa Puffs, like more crazy than a female, because that's the first person besides your mom you kind of opening up to. With a female, you're getting more like emotional. You know, you finally letting your feelings.
We're gonna blur this. We're gonna blur this gallon out.
Yeah. Like I was saying, but like, you know, like letting that emotion out, and when you're around men, you got all
I
that
just
pride.
know the mic picked that up so hard, so let me just.
Yo, this guy is hilarious.
It's this one.
W.
I'm officially cooked. All right. Sorry, EJ, for the interruption.
Yeah, back to what I was saying, but like, you know, with a female and a male, like with the pride, the man always had that more of that, like trying to give off that masculine, bro.
Yeah.
So when having that female, it's like, oh.
You did not have to make that noise, bro.
You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, y'all get what I'm saying, though, right? So yeah.
Yeah, pride I feel like is an inhibitor of growth. It's a blockade in terms of your ability to learn. You know,
100%.
Pride is a standing point of like a solid point of you don't need help. You don't need to learn. You're not, you're just on a hill basically, and that's what it was, I think, for me, and a lot of, big point about it, because I'm sure you weren't, always like this, or you probably didn't have that knowledge prior to this, because it kind of takes like a collapse in a way of like being on that mountain.
Yo, I'm not gonna
fall
lie,
down.
bro. Like,
Dude, he's hitting it bar for bar.
yeah,
word for
bro.
word,
Honestly,
bro.
like for me, bro, it was like, unfortunately, I wasn't gonna bring it up so early, but my parents passed away, unfortunately, and like that was like,
yeah,
and then it made me open my eyes, like, yo, I gotta be different than this, bro.
Stuff gets real.
Yeah, bro, because they passed away from drinking liquor, like liver problem, liver failure.
Yeah.
So it's like, yo, I'm not going down the route. So I don't drink.
Yeah,
I
me
smoked
neither.
occasionally, like, but I really say weird, like I don't do nothing. I was an athlete, bro. And then after that, bro, I had a heartbreak right after.
Oh man.
And then like, bro.
Yeah, you feel like you reach new lows.
Bro, you like rock bottom, and you like,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm not gonna live like that. So I feel like every man needs to go through that. Like what
Absolutely.
you said, rock bottom. Cause you hit that rock bottom, bro.
What's the name for that? It's like their starts with a C, I think. Beyond the Spider-Verse. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt again.
Oh, sorry, the Spider-Man.
No, because like it's like there's like a
canon event.
There we go.
Canon event.
Every
Exactly.
man's canon event is such a low that turns them into the man that they are.
It is.
You know what I mean?
You
Yeah,
have to,
like-
and sometimes it's like those real challenges that just happen to you, or sometimes you place yourself in those challenges to come out of it, knowing that you're like, I have to do this because I've not been challenging
100%,
myself.
bro. Like I think it's kind of like needed. Like every man, maybe not a female. Well, of course, for a female, it would benefit them. But as a man, bro, I think every man needs to go through either a heartbreak or like a tragic event to really make them into the man they need to be. Not that they want to be, but what they need to be, because it makes you open your eyes. Like I remember when I got my first heartbreak. Like even for my mom passing and my stepdad, it was like, yeah, I felt that. But having a heartbreak on top of that, it's like, bro, I'm going to the gym.
Yeah.
Every day. Like no
Yes.
matter what, I'm getting the body I need to get.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make money because like, bruh,
You have to do
I
something.
gotta look. Yeah, I gotta do something. Not just that, bro. Like I want to stunt on the person. Like I know it don't sound the best way to think of it, but it's the truth. That's how most men think. Like I'm a stunt on the last female and show that I'm better than what I was
I
before.
feel like when you first get introduced to that, you're like, I'm gonna prove her wrong, prove everybody wrong, this is that. And it's like when you grow, it's like I told myself this, like I actually reposted on my story today. The me that came in from Miami to Dallas is not the me that I am today.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Because I came to Dallas for a better life, and I hit one of the lowest lows I've experienced in my life.
Yes.
Dude, I mean, obviously, since we're open up about, certain events or whatnot, we all had certain tragic events in our lives that form us into who we are. But my most recent one was that I moved over here because I was going to be homeless if I stayed in Miami. I don't know if you know, but, no hate towards New Yorkers or New Jersey people or any of that. They're not a big part of the problem, but they're a little bit.
I'm from Brooklyn, bro. I'm born in New York.
No, but listen, I'm trolling, but a lot of people moving down to Miami has kind of really messed up a lot of individuals' like affordability to live there.
Oh, okay.
And plus hurricane insurance on the housing.
Yeah,
I think it went up by double,
It's horrible.
or it even completely canceled.
Right.
But I know that was like a very specific reasoning as to why I came over here, because I was going to be homeless.
Yeah.
And I came here. I was like, I'm moving to the best house I've ever lived at.
Yeah.
Life's good. This is that. Next thing you know, all the pressure falls on me for bills.
Oh yeah.
And I'm 19 years old. Like I told, you know, whatever you believe in, God, higher self, universe, whatever you want to call it, the creator. I told him, I want to start heading into that phase of my life where I'm becoming the man that I want to become.
Yeah.
Literally a few weeks later, got hit with the hardest Mike Tyson left hook blow.
It's like, you ready?
Exactly.
It's like, you wanted it.
Exactly. And it's like, dude, all the bills came on to me. I had no job. I just gave up. I started eating all junk food, going to sleep at 5 a.m., waking up at 5 p.m., playing games all day with the guys for 2-3 months straight.
Yeah.
Gained like 10, 15 pounds.
I don't mean to cut you off, bro. You cut me off like twice. So
yeah, no.
Bro, I used to call this guy, bro, and like, I'm like, what are you doing?
On the game.
I'm on the game. I'm like, bro, like, come on, bro.
And he even said that my friend, one of my closest friends, shout out Gio, texted him saying, yo, Elon is losing himself.
Yeah, bro, like, they're telling me, like, bro, I checked on him, like, bro, I'm the type, like...
It's a real friend, though.
Yeah, like me,
100%.
like, bro, I'm not the type that I'm going to check on you 24/7, but when I do, bro, it's out of heart.
It's an intentional thing.
Yeah, like, it's an intentional thing, like, bro, because at the end of the day, bro, like, no matter what, we cannot talk. Like, if it's a true relationship, friendship, we cannot talk for a whole year and come back and left off where we left off.
Yeah.
So, like, I hit him up, I'm like, yo, like, what's good, bro? And he didn't even text me back for, like, 2-3 days later. And I was like, yeah, but because he's the type of hyper guy. So I knew, bro, I was like, yeah, but this
something's
man,
off.
you off. And then I see this man on the game all the time. Philip telling, well, I already said his name, but yeah, one of another good friends of ours told me, yo, he's on the game, boy, trying to play. I'm like, yeah, bro. Yeah,
and then you got it, all right?
Yes.
You got it. So, yeah, you know, just my lifestyle kind of went to complete and, you know, excuse my French, we'll definitely blurt that out because we're for everybody, you know, people for all ages. I hit that rock bottom that we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
And, you know, it really takes a toll on your mental because then it's like, you know how growing up as a child, you've always wanted to be an adult?
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I'm 19, and everyone's like, yo, you're not an adult, this, that. But then it's like, I got hit with that adult response. I got hit with everything of that, and I'm like, damn, bro, I want to be a kid again.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I just got into this depressive state. I got hit with so much response. I didn't know how to handle it, but I just like, you know what? One day I literally just woke up. I was fatter, and I was like, my face was. I was like, bro. I looked in the mirror and I was like, yo, you're a loser.
Yep.
I literally told my, because like, you know, like when you say a curse word, it's like it doesn't hit hard enough. But it was like when you genuinely say like, yo, I'm a loser.
Yeah.
I told myself that in the mirror, and I just one foot in front of the other started getting myself back up, started working out again.
Yeah.
Started eating 3 to 4 times, and it's just like that simple things like that do such a big impact to individuals. It's crazy. Like we had one of my good old family friends. He sees me kind of like an older brother. That called me yesterday. He was actually he was in the room while the conversation was happening, and he's going through his canon event. Just maybe, a little bit later than most of us, but he's still, he's 18 years old. I don't want to say his name specific because I want to respect his privacy, but he was like, hey man, like, I don't know what to do. This girl, she's into me, but she's showing mixed signals, dry replies, this is that. But I had the best time ever when I was with her. Mm-hmm. And I had to just take him step by step from my experience. Obviously, I told him to take that advice with a grain of salt. Yeah. Because, everybody has their own experiences. But, I had to tell him, like, hey, life is going to take you there. Life is going naturally. It will happen naturally. Oh, yeah. You can, that's why I said there's everybody has their own backstory. Yeah. Because a lot of people's like, oh, I came from the hood. You ain't go through it like me. Not saying anybody specifically because, or it's like, oh, I came from poverty. Ain't nobody understand what I've been through. Like I said, life, I know it happens, for females as well, but from a different standpoint. Life really does naturally just take you there. And it's on all levels. Whether your family grew up rich and you're just taking in the generational wealth, whether you're poverty, whether you're from the hood, you're surviving off Section 8, food stamps, etc., governmental funding, or whether you're just regular average middle class, your parents bought you your first car, stuff like that. Everybody has a specific problem that is big to them. Yeah. What's 100%. Big to me might not be big to them.
Because they never felt what they felt.
Exactly. So it's like if you think from that broader perspective, problems are all they're all equal. Yeah. They're all equal. A rich dude, just an example, a wealthier person, their $100,000 car breaking down and they can't drive, that could turn them make them go depressed. Yeah. I'm just obviously, I wouldn't hope it would, but I'm just saying an example. And then
somebody came and get a car.
Exactly, but somebody can't even go and they're happier. You know what I mean? It's just there's problems in every single level of life. You know what I mean?
I agree, bro.
So it's just about how you keep that mental aspect, that mindset to where I'm alright. You know what I mean? I might not be satisfied with where I'm at right now, but one foot in front of the other, and just being grateful for the moment and the journey that we're on right now. Because honestly, that's the whole point of life.
Yeah.
Life's a marathon. You got to be thankful for the journey, not for the end destination. Yes, have the end destination in mind, but you're going through the journey for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, like he said, bro, I'll go a little bit on me too. Thank you, motivational speaker. Yes. No, yeah, of course. You want to go first before I speak?
Well, I mean, like in terms of my own kind of thing.
Yeah, like a Canon event.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a time, you know, this past year recently is kind of where I've made strides in terms of my own growth that I really noticed. Like, you know, I was in a relationship for a while, kind of on and off with someone that, you know, is the only person I've ever like truly loved. Mm-hmm. And it was at a time where I was heading back up to college because I would be home for the summers here with that person. And, you know, I went up to work. It was fall camp for Nebraska football. And we had a lot of work to do. And we were a student staff in terms of, like, our video production. Mm-hmm. So we were making literally, like, I was tasked individually with making a 30-minute long documentary. And, like, from filming to it being done and ready to be sent to the coach within a week.
And like, was that like internship, or were you gonna pay for that?
Yeah, that was like I mean, minimum wage.
Minimum wage,
nothing crazy, but it was, you know, and I was getting pretty overworked, and you know, I was dealing with the mental turmoil of what was going on, and just like on top of that, doing that work, and then, you know, it was like not to, let's say, the standard of who it was supposed to be approved by, and we had a disagreement, and I got like basically embarrassed and like ripped into in front of the rest of my coworkers at the time. And like that night, I got off of that work because I would literally show up in the office from like morning until night, like for that entire week. Yeah. And just the pressure of like the situation and the tension of that kind of broke me. And on like one of the last nights after that had happened, it was raining, and I was driving, and I was like just crying. I just couldn't. I couldn't see anything at all when I was driving, and it was you know, I was going really fast. You know, like, and I didn't really. That was kind of one of the first times I recognized like I'm being genuinely careless with my own safety right now. Yeah. And that was probably the lowest I had been. And then shortly after that, I got, you know, help from a friend. Who had kind of been in a similar situation at a couple points in his life. And he, you know, we kind of made an agreement that we were both going to get into therapy. Yeah. And so I did. And then, you know, really started like digging deeper into a lot of issues that I was having in my own, you know, mental process of how I would think. And, you know, it was painful. Like, it was a painful process. And, you know, but it was completely necessary it was like a shackle, like a chain weight on my ankle that I didn't even realize. Yeah, I never realized it was even there. And that's kind of where it was like I started to realize that as men, a lot of times we have those shackles around our ankles, and they're holding us back from reaching another level of existence or building a life that we want to live without it. You know, we never even realized.
This is why I got him.
You know, I've thought a lot about this kind of stuff because it really, as I really started to dig deep and do that kind of work. Shout out my therapist, Kernisha. Her name was Kernisha. Yeah, she was awesome. So she, you know, she helped me a lot and just pressed me to kind of, you know, for the first time, really take on, like, open up the box and look at what was inside that was affecting me. And, you know, as painful as it was the most liberating thing that I had done in terms of a better understanding of myself and what were the challenges that I needed to navigate that were specific to me. Yeah. You know, because we talk about a lot of things that, you got to make sure you're healthy, you got to make sure, you know, your finances are good, making sure. But what doesn't get talked about is the individual challenges that are specific to your experiences. And so that's what therapy. Exactly. And because think about how many thoughts you have in a day. Yeah. Like,
I think it was over 80,000.
80,000. How many of those thoughts thoughts dictate actions?
Exactly.
Because you're thinking a certain thing.
I think it was 90% of the 80,000 thoughts are the same thoughts over and over again.
Exactly. Repetitive. So it's like when you start to change that.
10,000 new thoughts.
Yeah, exactly. So it's, you know, that was a point in my life. I really started to do things out of, you know, I was really like heavy too, overweight, eating like not in a way that represented, you know, acts of self-love and care. And so that's what I've just kind of like, silently kind of been on a mission for trying to help people, you know, in their lives, especially younger men, because I feel like now more than ever, there's so many more escapes and temptations and things like that in our lives that take us away from that path of challenge. Yeah. The path of like rough, hard, honest work into yourself that ultimately rewards you in such greater ways than anything could. And so that's why, you know, that's why I wanted to come on this podcast, is because I truly believe in that message. Yeah, 100%. And I want to spread that. Yeah, 100%.
So that was amazing. That was a really great. That was really deep and really great. I do appreciate that answer, bro.
Thanks.
Honestly, that definitely touched me. I
was like in tune.
I wasn't even looking at the camera. Yeah. I was like,
well, yo, I care about this shit, man, because I just think about there's people living lives that they don't know why. They don't know why they're living those lives. They're not doing anything with intention, and they don't know why, but they don't feel good. Deep down, they don't feel good about what they're doing. They don't feel good about the people they're around, the actions, the things they're putting in their bodies. And deep down, there's something in them that is seeking something better. It might be resistant, but it's curious. I was talking with a friend the other day, a friend of a friend. She came over, and she had been kind of talking about how she wasn't happy with her situation. She was overworked. She didn't have a good diet. And she, was talking about how she hated the food that she was eating. And I walked in the room just hanging out, talking about stuff. And she goes, Ethan, you eat healthy, right? You work out, right? And I'm like, yeah, I do. I'm like, I'm really passionate about this kind of stuff. And she's like, well, why? And I thought it was funny because she kind of had an attitude about it. But she was asking. She was curious. She was inquisitive, because I think something deeper in her psyche was like, there's something greater there. There's something deeper to be had for myself. And, we actually that night, I was like, let's go to the grocery store. So me and this friend, we literally took her to HEB and walked her through the grocery store and helped her decide on what better decisions to make. And she was really appreciative of it and resistant. She was like, I don't like that. I don't like this food or this food or something like that. But it's, I can tell now more than ever, there's so many, especially in our Western civilization, when it comes to food or distractions.
So many things are so processed.
Media, the phone, there's so many things that just kind of get in the way of how I believe is the best way to live, or just the most fulfilling. And so that's kind of, it has nothing to do with my career. It has nothing to do with any kind of training or anything I've had, but it is something that I stick to and I want to spread, because it's absolutely transformed my life, the way I think, the way I treat myself, and the way I treat others. So, that's kind of my why in terms of
nice, bro.
I agree, bro. I feel like there's so much hate in the world. Honestly, me, when I started getting a little fame on Instagram, would it be in my clothing brand or my personal? Yeah. It's bro, it's mostly majority of the comments is either hate, or it's majority of it is hate than positive. Yeah. It can be something good. They're like la 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 la, and bro, in this generation, it's dang, bro, where's the good people? Where's the genuine people that we really need in this earth,
And most of the time, it's the people that you don't know.
It's the people you don't know.
Why do you think that? Try and get into the head of someone who is treating you that way. Because, I've thought about this too. When you're trying to do things on your own or kind of make something happen, do something creative. Back in the day in high school, like I said, I was making stuff. I would just post these random edited pictures, and I remember people making fun of me for it.
Yeah, bro.
So why do you think that is, that people kind of feel or react that way when you?
He's smiling. I know exactly what he's about to say too. Go ahead, bro.
You got something?
You want me to go or you want to go?
I kind of already knew he was gonna say bro. If y'all all know, if y'all follow our Instagram, this man started a spiritual, some spiritual stuff, on his Instagram. Yeah. And bro, I'm around, I hang with him. I hang around the people he hang around, all laughing at this man, look at him making a fool out of himself. Right. And bro, it was the same way for me for my clothing brand. I'm making a clothing brand. Another Broward boy trying to make a clothing brand. This ghetto stuff, blah blah blah. Trying, and bro, look at me. I got 25.1K on Instagram. Did 200 orders within two months.
That's incredible.
Bro, just trying.
That's just the beginning too.
Yeah, that's just the beginning, bro. And him, bro, he's finally getting some reach. And oh, yo, I see you got 10K. Wait till you hit 10K followers. Oh, you got 10K. 20K. Oh, you got 20K. And it's
they want to be friends.
Just like that, bro. Yeah. And that's how the world is. They gonna hate before they gonna succeed, and then after that you succeed, they're gonna want handouts. Yo, let me hop on for example, podcast. But some off people like, man, like come in the room like, bro, what is this?
Right.
And then 20 episodes from now, we got 100K, 50K, even 10K subscribers.
Whatever it is.
Yeah. Yo, let me get on. Get out of here, bro.
How about you email us and we'll get back to you when we can.
We'll get back to you. So yeah, bro, I 100% agree. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, for me to answer your question, how, you know, why that is, honestly, like, fully, like, diving deep into that answer, I think that it's because people don't, like you said, how there's like that greater version of themselves within them, and they don't have the confidence or they don't have the will, the ambition to dig deep into their subconscious. Because overall, what you said that changed your life was your subconscious beliefs that changed over time through, everybody has their own methods. You know, for you it was therapy. For me it was solitude. You know what I mean?
Like
reflection in my own mind through solitude. I was my, you know, not knocking you in any way, but I'm saying I was my own therapy. You know what I mean? Just because I was always the, not like the lone wolf or outside, but like, I was always the different guy out of everybody else, and that made me naturally, just subconsciously, like say, hey, like, you know, like go into solitude, go into deep reflection. What am I doing that's making this guy react this way? What's wrong with me that's making me, you know? And then over time, I realized that there was nothing much that was wrong with me. It was the individuals outside of me that reacted the way. So, like, basically what I'm trying to say is that individuals hate on you because you are doing something either that they want to do and they don't have the ambition to do it themselves, or, like, let's say it's from a closer, more personal standpoint, childhood friends, kids in the same grade as you growing up, middle school, high school, whatever the case may be, and they knew the old version of you that wasn't able to do this, but now you're elevating and growing and turning into the version that can do that. They're like, hey, bro, I know who this guy is. This guy was smoking weed in the back of the bathroom.
I think majority of it is like that. Like, bro, for example, you see a girl, let's say 5 years ago in high school, and she's getting, like, the whole football team hit her, and now all of a sudden, like, she's cuffed up with like married or something. And
with an amazing husband that's taking care of her.
Yeah, you know, like, I mean? Going to church every day, and you're like, yo, she's getting hit every Sunday or something, and like, that's not her no more, bro, because people change. And like, for that, so I think it's a prime example. People actually do change, but people can't realize, like, yo,
I could be that.
Or, yo, there's no such thing to change. That's what I look at her. That's what I was telling him the other day. Like, your image you put out there as yourself means so much, because once you give that image, it's hard to get rid of that.
Yeah.
So 100%. And then even going back onto that therapy topic, like, bro, coming from where I'm from, a little bit from him, from, like, I know people in Texas is a lot more genuine, more caring. Like, first day coming out here to Texas, somebody's gave us a compliment about church and whatnot and everything, and like, we're like, oh, like, we're not used to this. Then we have a friend named David, and he's helping us, he bought us food and everything. I'm like, yo, I'm not used to this. And Texas is more genuine. Coming from where I come from in Miami, Broward County. He's from Miami, I'm from Broward County. Therapy is not really a thing, bro. Like, you go to therapy, you get laughed at. Like, it's not much of people, and not even laughed at, bro. Like, families could not afford therapy at that. So not even being able to afford it, getting laughed at for going, if you go, you take therapy, you're soft, B-I-T-C-H. Or if family can't afford it, it's like so many ways. So
it's a sad thing.
Yeah, that's why I think it also turns, like, from the south, like from where we're from, turns more to like hatred, like or if you do
scares them.
Yeah, like kind of scares them.
And you know what's so odd? You want to know something that's so crazy? Sorry, it popped up as soon as you said it, bro. When you see a successful person watching somebody else try, 98% of the time, yes, there's that 1%, but 98% of the time, they are showing, like, hey, you can do this. I believe in you. 100%. Because they were in that position. Maybe, for example, for you, a big clothing brand or something like that, you're like, hey, like, I really love it. I got inspired by you to do it. Just an example. They'll probably say, like, hey, like, keep going, bro. Don't give up. This is like, you got this. But then people that are less than,
they want to keep you down.
Exactly.
At their level.
Exactly. But then when like, I've never heard a millionaire talk to another individual trying to become a millionaire say, you don't got that. They might speak some sense into them, constructive criticism. Like, hey, you're doing that. Like, looking from an outside perspective, you're doing this thing wrong. Like, here, let me help you out a little bit. You know,
or they might say advice. Like, so you can't do it just to motivate them as well.
Exactly.
100%.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's a positive message, and they genuinely do believe, like, hey, like, I was in your shoes before, bro. Like, you got this. It's always the people that are under or that don't have stuff going on for them in their life. They don't know. They, like you said, they haven't had that therapy, that solitude, that self-reflection. And some even grown men, 40-year-olds. I've met 40-year-olds in my life that have never gone through that self-reflection. Sorry. But listen. I don't judge anybody, but it hurts my heart when I see somebody identify themselves with, you know, their career, what they're known by, and stuff like that. Like, yes, we're all aspiring to be different things, but at the end of the day, it's through that self-reflection, it's through that therapy, it's through that solitude, it's through that work within yourself, it's through your subconscious beliefs changing over time, building healthy habits, all the minimal things that people don't look at, but it's the primary factors that change you into the human being you desire to be, is what it's literally the bridge to what you want to achieve.
Literally.
And I just, you know, it's like, they're like, oh yeah, I work, I work, you know, I'm at this position. I'm doing great in life. Not to, you know, not knocking you. If you're okay with that, 100%. We need people like that on the world. But it's a false identity. Find out who you truly are within yourself. So then you could actually start saying like, hey, like for me, a prime example, sorry, I'm like, you know, I'm ranting right now, but like, you know, for me, it was basketball. Growing up, I always wanted to be an NBA player. I loved football, but I loved basketball just a little bit more. It was my therapy, it was this, is that. But me having that exterior source, it was kind of, I became dependent on it. And then I started getting a love-hate relationship with it. I started, because I was very dedicated to my craft. I'd wake up at 5 a.m., I'd go train. Afterwards, I'd go to school. And then after school, I'd basketball practice, then go to the weight room, and then train again at nighttime, repeat. And I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those individuals that would miss homework for basketball. You know what I mean? I was one of those people.
Committed.
Like, I would, you know, either hit up a friend, hey, can you help me out with the answer? But like, honestly speaking, because I was so passionate about it, you know what I mean? So it's like, you know, after a certain amount of time, the dependency that I put on basketball made me dislike it to the point where I was like, who is Elon without basketball? I'm not, there's nothing without basketball. And I think it's that relationship, because yes, there is a good thing as such, wanting something, to achieve something, desiring something, being ambitious towards it. But there's that fine line where it becomes, yes, obsession, but knowing that there's a part of you that doesn't need that. And that's the relationship I have with football. Basketball, I was like, I need basketball. I need to make the NBA. If I don't make the NBA, I'm worthless. Stuff like that. And every time I would miss a shot, dude, I just shot 200, that same shot 200 times earlier at 5 a.m. Why am I missing it? Started beating myself up. And that made me start hating basketball. My love for it started going away. And then plus, you know, I don't want to name any names, but certain coaches, you're very aware of this. Certain coaches mess up a lot of the love because they use their perspective, they use their experience onto you that may not fit you, and that might not be able to use you best. You know what I mean? Like for you, for example, with your teacher, she gave you like that bridge. She had a little bit to activate something within you to become this flower of passionate, you know, photography, videography, etc. Right? So it's like a person can really make or break your love for a certain thing because you're still young, you're still developing. So like my advice to you guys, I know I kind of just went on a little rant there, but my advice to you guys is whatever you are very passionate about, yes, you can obsess over it. You can try your best. You can give it your all, but don't have that dependency identity to the point where if that thing were to be taken away from you, you wouldn't know who you are.
I agree.
Because there's a whole soul within you that is making you exactly into who you are.
Back to going to like what you were saying on the titles and whatnot, like hey, like it made me like ring a bell and whatnot. Like
we're just ringing bells for each other.
Yeah, bro. Like honestly,
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, like bro, like having a title on a name is like kind of how the world revolves. Like bro,
I'm not gonna lie, I'm really starting to sweat. I'm sorry. I'm about to take off this bag.
He cuts me off every time I get.
Alright, you got it.
For example, when you talk to a female, I'm a football player. I'm a basketball player.
Yeah, you identify.
Yeah, like identify. Like for example, doctor. I'm a doctor. Assume, oh, he's successful.
It's not who you are, though.
Yeah, bro. Or like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. Most people, you say you're an entrepreneur, they're like, bro. Then you say, oh, I own. Then it's like, bro, everything is evolved off a title. So I definitely agree, like, what you were saying, bro.
Yeah.
There's a whole identity that people can't even tap into because, and besides, and the crazy part about it, it's not intentional. It's because that's what they were taught to do subconsciously.
Learned.
The school, and like you said, the Matrix. And I don't mean to get into whole, Matrix and everything, but it's
we get into it, bro.
But it's true. Can you zip this bad news?
Oh my god.
This is exclusive content, guys. You gotta pay for this.
Y'all go subscribe on OF, man. Damn, bro, you know this conversation is real juicy when we haven't even started the game yet.
Yo, that's so real. Let's start it.
Let's do it, bro.
That's an interesting thing to talk about because I've talked with a couple of people about this, and it's like action paralysis. Like too scared to take action on the things that they actually want to do deeply, that they know deep down they care about or they have a dream of, out of the care of what other people think. And I always think it's such a funny thing because we all get caught up doing it at times. Where you're
even people that are aware like us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean? Worried about opinions of people you wouldn't trade places with.
Exactly.
That's always a funny thing.
100%, bro. Yeah, like. Even for me, for even a clothing brand perspective, like, bro, I'm over here. I had my hoodies for going on for a little minute. Like, bro, I can say about 6-7 months. And it's like, what should I drop next? What should I drop next? What should I drop next? And like you said, even our own perspectives on our own shoes right now, it's like, what do I drop next?
Yeah.
Knowing, bro, I done came up with like 5-6 ideas that I think that can possibly sell out.
Yeah.
But I just go, can it really sell out?
Yeah, you start to question yourself instead of just taking a step
just taking
forward.
that action, and who knows, bro? I either fail, I lose a little money,
yeah,
I have some inventory,
but you tried.
I tried. I succeed. Financial freedom, 100K.
Yeah, exactly,
right?
There's a good Kobe quote about failure. I forget how it goes exactly, but he just basically mentions like it makes no difference if you fail or if you succeed.
Yeah.
The only failure you can make is to not take action. And
100%.
You got to remind yourself of that. Otherwise, you can get so caught up with the idea of failure when it's really not that scary. If you break it down to what it actually is. So that's what I admire. I admire that because I actually do want to get into some clothing brand stuff with a friend of mine. So that. We've been designing things, and it's just sometimes have that kind of like, what are we gonna be?
The best advice, bro, I can give you on that before you. I know you were trying to talk. For us, bro, we started a vision board. Actually, we just started. I know behind the camera they can't see it, but for us, bro, I was in the car with this man. We're going to the gym. I'm like, bro.
We said we were gonna do all these things.
We said
you've been here to 2-3 weeks, and we haven't done.
I've been here 2-3 weeks, and it's like, bruh, we said we're gonna lock in. Every day I'm like, yo, lock in. He said me, yo, lock in. Bro, we still can barely afford the bills. We need to lock in for real, bro. We over here playing the game. Let's go watch movies. Let's go to the movie theaters. Let's go get food. And bruh, we still don't even have everything we need. We can't even afford bills comfortably. You feel me?
On survival.
So like I can say, bro, I think the best advice you can give somebody on that standpoint is just having a plan. Because when you have a plan, bro, it's you closer to your that's a GPS to your success.
Yeah, actionable steps.
Yeah, bro. For us, if you can look behind the camera, I know they can't see it. Monday, boom, 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 boom. Tuesday, boom, 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 boom. Wednesday, boom, 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 and you check it off.
And then also there's the mandatory check-ins.
Yeah.
Right on top of them.
So you have to post. You can't even come in this room till we post our content. And bro, that's being consistent. Exactly, accountability. So with that being said, bro, if he came and walk in this room,
how are we gonna be productive?
So by him making that checklist, now that's taking action. We're both consistent. Now we both consistent in posting. When you consistent with posting, bro, you're bound to blow up.
Yeah. It's a matter of time.
You have to blow up. Bro, out of all these videos we making and taking, something has to go. I mean, for him, he already hit 10K. And
true.
Before I was here, he wasn't reaching them numbers. He would hit 100, most 1,000. But bro, by being consistent, what you at now? 10K on a video?
I actually have a video that's about to hit 26K.
26K, exactly.
It's a step in the right direction.
My point.
Yeah,
So bro, imagine you just do that in life, bro.
Yeah.
Check off. Boom.
And you not only for business aspect, it could be simply for the things of the
gym, anything, bro. Just having that road to success, having that GPS to success, bro, is bound,
Yeah.
And then the best way for you to lock in on it, because most people they say they're gonna do something but don't do it. They were like, oh, I'm gonna get the board, right on it one time, never do it.
And you know what's crazy? I'm sorry, but it's we just keep bringing each other's.
Let me
I got you. Yeah, you got it.
The only way to say discipline on something is having a punishment. If you don't I can write something down and say I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna check it off.
What's holding you to it?
What's holding me to it? Nothing's gonna tell me.
Yeah.
If we don't finish
don't say the specific location.
I'm not gonna say the specific location, but if we don't finish this off, bro, we have a punishment.
Do you see what it says?
Oh.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Oh.
Just an example,
Bro,
guys.
That's awful.
It's like
We have to run to that location and back, and that's what, like 2, 3, 4 hours of a run.
guys. That's like a 15-mile run.
No, that's awful.
Just want to
Exactly. And like, bro, who wants to do that?
No, yeah.
So by that, if we don't finish this, what we need to get done, there's a punishment.
That's a good mental cue to think
100%,
about. I
bro.
hadn't thought about that.
It's like that kill switch.
Yeah. Because otherwise, it's like, you're gonna falter to the not wanting to do it.
Yeah.
I'll just do it tomorrow.
I'm gonna do it.
No, I'm gonna stay up because I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
The
bro, I'm not
punishment.
doing that. And then I think the best way, before I even came here, bro, like I came here for a business aspect. Like I knew it was
Pursuing
gonna be
that.
growth. You feel me?
Yeah.
So like having that partner, sometimes a lot of people can't do things on their own. They have to have someone to push them.
Yeah.
You know, I always agree to having a small circle, but it's always having a good, aspects of people who you hang around. Like I said before we started.
Absolutely.
Elon, for a great example. We push each other.
He's all right.
Yeah.
Damn, bro.
No, I feel that though.
Yeah, but like having somebody to push you, bro. 'Cause, like I can, say I'm gonna do these things, and like I can be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have a punishment.
Yeah.
You have somebody that, bro. If you don't
Accountability.
you don't get in there, bro. You don't have to run that.
I've been washed away with forgiveness. I've been washed by the eyes of a sinner.